Hello, everybody. Welcome back to X-Plane 11. Once again, today we're flying the 747-8i, and this is the SSG version 2. A lot of you wanted to see the version 2, so I got it while it was on sale for about $46, and I can say right now there are massive improvements across the board from the last version. However, we're flying here from Payne Field, and we're going down to San Francisco today in the Boeing colors as a test flight because there's not a lot of operators out there besides cargo, and I think 3 for the airlines. Well, one thing is for certain, the attention to detail on the airplane is second to none. I mean, look at that. Looks very, very, very nice. The modeling has improved quite a bit. The detail of the engines, the animations on them, it's just overall improved since the last time we saw it. The airplane's still using those TSS sounds, but they have been improved from what I can hear. The APU sound is there, especially when you fire it up. You notice it right away. If you're wondering what scenery we're using today, it is the Drzewski Designs Seattle airports, and you can see it is really well done. You can fly into the hangar and see all the 747s being built. Pretty neat. So it was only fitting for us to fly the new 747 out of Payne. All right, welcome on board the 747-8. We have a new little tablet over here on the left-hand side that has ground services, which we see right there. We're going to close that door because we're getting ready to get on out of here. Fueling page. You can see we can add our fuel by hundreds, tens, and ones, and then fuel it that way. We're using 66.8, as you can see right there. And then we have the payload options now, and you can go through the different presets. I'm using a preset of 25 since it's a lightly loaded airplane for our test flight today. Moving along down the road, we've got sound options here, your other options. I like fast time to align for the IRS, and we're using pounds instead of kilos, but you can change all that stuff if you would like. Improvements to the cockpit overall are here, and you're noticing right off the bat we have different fonts and stuff that are way more true to life to the airplane, and the textures on the cockpit are not the best things out there for sure, but they are an improvement from V1. Quick look at our overhead. We have all this ready to go. EECs are good or on nav all the way across the board. Standby power's auto. Everybody's good here. We're on the APU. The gens are all off because the engines are off. We have the hydraulic pumps all set to auto. On the right-hand side, we have no fuel in the center tanks, no need for it. Main 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on. We have window heat set. On the right-hand side, yaw damper is selected. And then we have auto all the way across the board. Recirc fans are good. High flow, trim airs on, packs are on. Isolation valves for the APUs on. Engine bleeds are set to fire up the engines on this airplane. And we can simply just hit the run switches and then fire up the engines by pulling these knobs. We don't need a pushback today, so let's go ahead and just get the beacon light on. We're going to set our altimeter to 2998. That's what it is here right now, so 2998, and that should be on both sides. We'll double check that, and it is. Those are good. Beacon light is on right now. Don't have to turn the packs off on this airplane, so we're going to go ahead and start engine number 4 first, and I'll let you listen to it from the outside. And you notice it takes a lot longer for these things to fire up, which I like the animations being like that. All right, run on engine 3, and we'll start 3. All right, that's 2 good starts there. Let's go ahead and select engine 2 and 1, and we're going to start engines 1 and 2 together. All right, that's 4 good engine starts there. We can go ahead and turn off the APU since we're on all of the gens. As we can see there, we've got fuel override 3 and 2 off. They want it on, so we'll turn them on for now. And then once they're satisfied with that, we'll turn them off later on if they need to be. Flaps 10 today, so let's go ahead and go flaps 10. All right, flight control page down here, and we're going to test those. We got left aileron, neutral. I got right, neutral. I got forward, neutral. I've got back, neutral, left rudder, and right rudder. Free and correct. All right, we're on this ramp right here. We're going to make a right-hand turn and take Alpha 1 down to runway 16 right. We've got 9,000 feet of runway there, and we're lightly loaded. It's not going to take a whole lot to get off the ground. You can see their Boeing company ramp. Pretty cool. And we'll put that away. Let's go ahead and go. Runway turnoffs can come on. Taxi lights on. Release the parking brake. And we're going to double check and make sure we have our brakes. And we do. Let's taxi over to 16 right. All right, everything checks out all right in here. RTO on those guys. Flight control page, we're just going to put that away. Don't need it for right now. And then we can go weather radar on. And landing lights are going to come on as well. Get all these guys on. There we go. And the wing light can come on, and the strobe can come on as well. All right, we are clear for takeoff on 16 right. We'll bring them up to 50%, and then we will engage toga thrust by hitting the accept button there on the left, as the airplane will do its thing. It's a big airplane, so you've got to account for that as far as using the taxiing technique on it. You want to get that nose as far as you can, like to the edge there, and then turn left. All right, double checking our stab trim, 6.3 units there. That is what we need. Awesome. We're ready to get on out of here. We're going to go ahead and if we can grab that flight control button from there, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. Bring them up. Let them hold at about 50. There we go. That's good enough right there. And toga. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed is alive.
80 knots.
Cross-checked.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
Positive brake, gear up. All right, bring up those flaps. She's a rocket ship today, man. Absolute rocket. We'll turn to the right here. Man, we are getting hit by some turbulence right now. That's okay. All right, cleaning up the airplane. We are turning the taxi lights all off. It's pretty bumpy on the way out here right now. Over to the right, almost to 10,000 feet, holding 250 knots. Looking great. We have our flaps all cleaned up, and auto brakes are on the off position. Above 10,000, we can go and bring the landing lights off. There we go. We can turn that wing light off. Don't need that one as well. Wonderful. So far, so good. Airplane's accelerating as it should, almost to 12,000 feet. We're going to be making that left-hand turn next. And zoom out a little bit. Here we go to Eason after we get to Harab. So we're almost to Harab now, and then we'll be at the top of climb before you know it. 39,000 feet. I don't think it's going to make it there. Well, it might. I mean, we're climbing at 1750 now. And you should be able to see Seattle off on our left side there. There's downtown Seattle. Pretty darn cool. We're departing Snohomish. Above 18,000 feet, standard pressure on both sides. That is good there. Remember, guys, if you want to see any of these flights with all of the pre-flight on it, all that, you can check out the link in the description below. That links to my Fabiano Live channel where I just flew this airplane and did all the pre-flight stuff. If you want to follow along with it, you can. On here on this channel, we just try to get, out of there and then on our way, so we're not wasting a whole lot of time sitting on the ground for about 30 minutes figuring out the airplane. So that's what's going on with that. How's everybody doing? You hanging in there? Quarantining? Doing your thing? Being smart? I know a lot of you guys can't, and you're working, and my heart goes out to you guys, and thank you to all of the people that are involved with the medical field. You guys are on the front lines, and you're kicking butt, man, so thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. And those of you that are aviators and possible, commercial pilots and stuff, I know that these are tough times for aviation, and we're able to continue the love of it through a simulator. Over Harab and almost to our top of climb. So, yeah, I was zoomed way out. That's why it looked like the top of climb was a lot closer than it was. So between here, we get up to the top of climb, then we head down to Eason. All right, and we are at our cruise altitude today. Wonderful. Airplane will start pitching down, and we'll be looking for a cruise speed of Mach 0.85. Currently 419 nautical miles to our top of descent, so we've got a while to go, and it's relatively cloudy. We have a little bit of a hole up here in front of us, but looking at the weather in San Francisco, it's cloudy. We have some clouds at 1,700 feet, broken at 2,000 and broken at 2,600. So we probably will be able to shoot a visual approach once we get underneath that cloud deck into San Francisco, but we'll definitely shoot the approach for the ILS 28 right. We're cruising around up here. We can check out some of the newer things that are in this airplane, and the new modeling you can see. We got new textures in the cockpit. They added a mineral water bottle there. Interesting. I don't know why I've been getting some of these kind of weird swimming texture things, especially in the wings and stuff. If you know what that is, let me know. By the way, the frame rate in this cockpit has got some issues. I know they're working on a update for it, so hopefully that will fix a lot of issues, but man, it does eat your frames, probably about 10, honestly, from what I can tell. Yeah, with some lighting over here, doesn't seem like any of this stuff is operational. And can we open the door or do we have to unlock it? I might have to unlock it first. Actually. Nope. Don't have to. Okay. So, there is a cabin, but it's only the upstairs. There's no downstairs cabin, sadly. We can fly over here and look out the windows. You can't interact with the cabin, unfortunately, but you can look out the windows. That awesome scenery. And then you can fly on back here. You got some people that have shades down. I don't know what's going on with my shadows either. They're doing some weird jaggy things lately. Some weird jaggies, but yeah, check it out. Got a cool wing view there. And then all the way to the back, we have a little galley back here, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, we're still getting some, well, it might be loading in some ortho tiles, actually. We've got some coffee back here, and look at this. The coffee pots are actually modeled in 3D, and we have this little, it's like wine glasses and stuff back here too, and all sorts of fun stuff. And then we can come downstairs, and you can see down here there's not a lot modeled at all, and we do not have a downstairs cabin modeled either, so that's sad. Currently have a little bit of a tailwind, about 13 knots pushing us along. We are currently 72 miles to Eason, and then we have the long stretch between Eason and all the way down to Etchy, and then Melbeck. Some of you may have caught that when we took off out of Payne Field, we had a 9-knot tailwind. The reason for that is I was going off of sim brief and off of real world conditions, and the winds were favoring out of the south. So that's why everything was set up that way. However, I've been having a real issue with Active Sky, just like basically turning around my winds 180 degrees of what they are in the real world. I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't. Are you guys having any issues with your Active Sky acting crazy? Because I know for a fact my X Enviro didn't do that to me. So I don't know what's going on with it. It's the latest version, and it's all working, but we're just getting improper winds. All right, we're about 19 nautical miles to our top of descent. We're going to start our way down at 15, so we'll go ahead and throw that in here to 10. There we go. Awesome. Keeping an eye on that. We're at 15.8 now, so actually, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the next page. We'll hit descend now. There we go. Execute that. Init ref page here, we have our reference already set in here. Flaps 30, 139. So +5, 144 will be our VNAT, or sorry, our VREF. And then we're landing on 111.7 and 284. We'll double check that. 111.7 and then 284. So runway 28 right is going to be here. 111.7, 284. That is correct. Awesome. And then our arrival is the Bodega 3 RNAV coming over Melbeck. We'll go to Jean at 280 knots below, or between 280 and 240. Then continue down to Bigelow. Then lows it, and then we've got Bodega, Cork, Bricks, and it looks like this arrival has fly right over the top of the airport, and we'll fly heading of 140 degrees, and we'll get vectors for the ILS. Hopefully it'll be nice enough we can do a visual approach, but that's what we're doing right now. All right, so our straight-in landing, runway 28 right, ILS, decision height 213, so we can put that on here. So 213 radio, which is right around 200, so we'll do 210 actually on that one. And then that's all good to go. We'll be auto brakes 1 today, don't need 2 because we are lightly loaded, and we should be fine with everything there. Right now we're on the VNAV path and we are descending perfectly fine down to 10,000 feet. Looking down here on the legs page. On the right there I got Melbeck, and then Bodega 13,000, and then all the way down to about 3,000 at Seppen. So we're going to descend down to 3,000 for the most part. But remember, Jean, Bigelow, Lozit, and Bodega is at 13, and then Corks 11, Bricks, there it is right there, 11,000. So 11,000 is where we're going to be crossing over the airport. So we can just set that in there for right now. All right, so they want us to cross Jean at 280 knots, and you can see us coming down the line right there, so 280. We'll double check on our page down here if it's going to do that. There it is right there, starting to pull back. Now they have 250 in here, so hey, you know what? That's fine with me. I'm not going to be upset about that, but the airplane is starting to decelerate now, and we're 5 miles from Jean. We're going to cross that, and we're looking pretty good so far on our arrival. Not seeing any weather in the area. We're going to switch over to terrain, so we'll pick that up. There are some mountains in the area, so we're going to keep an eye on that. All right, we're intervening with the airplane. We have it set to 280 knots, and it's just about to hold that right there. This whole arrival right through Bodega and all that, they want to maintain 280. We don't need to slow down that much yet. So I'm fine with that being at 280 knots. We have found some bumps on the way down, though. Below 18,000 feet, we can go ahead and come off standard pressure now, and it's altimeter 299.7. Man, those flaperons are getting a workout today with all of this. And we're almost to Lozit, and then we make that left turn, and we're going to be over that airport before you know it. All right, just about to 250 knots here, and we're using the flight detent for the speed brakes. There's the watching the engines here. Once they start throttling forward, we'll bring them back in, just like that. There we go. And we can actually, drag required, okay. Well, I mean, we just put some drag out there, but we should be fine for now. She is slowing down just a little bit. There you go. Maintain about there. We're in pretty good turbulence right now, so there's that as well. Speed brakes are armed. That's wonderful. And we're keeping an eye on everything here. There's Aximal there. Once we cross over the runway, we'll be, over the airport, we'll be heading 140 from there. And then we'll vector ourselves around. So not a whole lot left here in this flight. Coming down to 11,000. We'll continue down to 3,000 feet now. There we go. That's what we want. And the airplane is below 250, and that won't be a problem for it at all. Shouldn't be. It's going to hold that 11 for right now. Just about over the airport. We'll go ahead and go heading 140. And we'll get ourselves vectored to come around and pick up Seppen at 3,000. So 140 there. And we're 0.5 from there. Once we cross over at 11,000, we can start our way down to 3,000. And there it goes. So let's go ahead and go to vertical speed mode now. And we'll slow her down to 210 knots. There we go. And down we go. Go flaps 1. Get those slats out there. That's going to help the airplane slow down. We're below 10,000 now. We'll put all our lights on here. And the wing light can come on as well. There we go. And now we're going to be going a little bit further this way, and then we'll start our left turn. Go down a little bit more. There we go. Get out of these clouds, and once we're out of the clouds, we'll be able to see again. That'll be nice. It looks like we're about to do that very soon. Airplane still needs a little help slowing down. We'll pull these out to the flight detent. That's because the airplane's lightly loaded. She does not want to slow down, clearly. And we won't be able to intercept a localizer at 250 knots, of course. So we don't even want to chance that. All right, we're looking much better now. So there's the 10 miles range there. And we're keeping an eye out on all of our mountains and all that. We have some around here. I'm going to go to left turn to clear away from those. So about 120 now. Still slowing the airplane up. We'll be busting out of the clouds pretty soon, it looks like. And she's still slowing down ever so slightly. We can kind of shallow this up a little bit. There we go. Wonderful. And we're looking at our approach plate. Yep, Seppin is 3,284, and then Axmal's 1,800. We should be able to catch it before then, though, so that's what we're hoping. And we'll go flaps 5. Speed checks for flaps 5. That'll help slow her down as well. And now I can put these speed brakes back forward, double check and make sure they are armed, and they are indeed. Airplane's doing much better there. Let's slow down to 180. And we'll turn now left, heading about 080. There we go. And we almost broke through the clouds there. Almost. Just almost. Okay. Go back to 10 range on that guy. Looking much better. And we'll continue that turn now. I need 020. In the real world, we would be listening to the ATC for this. Hey, look at that. We're breaking through the clouds. Yay. There we go. Oh, almost. It updated the weather. Oh, come on, airplane. You can slow down. We're going to need a little bit more help there. And there comes the glide slope and localizer there. In fact, we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot, my airplane. And my throttles. Bring those to idle. Maintaining our a good glide slope angle here. And we're slowing her up. This will be a pretty good intercept from up here. Man, it is windy though. I'll give it that. It is indeed windy. There we go. That'll slow up the airplane where we want it to be. Speed brakes coming forward. There we go. Make sure it's nice and selected. Ooh. There we go. Hold about 3,000 here. We're still a little high on the approach. You can come back down now. Ooh, hello. Pull that power a little bit more. And left turn. Go flaps 10. Speed checks for flaps 10. Coming up to 3,000 feet. Left turn on to Seppin here. There's the runway. We'll pretty much be able to be visual from here. We'll see. At 20 degree. We fine. We'll clear that message. We know. Thank you very much. Remember, we're going to be 140. We're going to keep about 180 for now, but we're going to be 144 for our VREF today. All right. So we want to be 3,000 at Seppin, and we can see the glide slope coming down. Once we grab that glide slope, we'll go gear down. It is a windy one here in San Francisco today. Same up there in Washington. It was pretty windy as well. All right, we don't need the terrain radar on anymore. We've got a good look at it. Don't want to get up closer to those clouds either, because those clouds are going to make us white out. We're well below those. And we want to cross Seppin here at 3,000 if we can. Bring that power back a little bit more. Man, that wind is relentless today. They said 200 at 9, but it's 234 at 17 from what we can see there. At least that's what they're telling us. All right. Looks like we're going to cross right at 3,000, which is perfectly fine with me. Go ahead and go gear down. Flaps 15. Or sorry, flaps 20. It's not a 737, Jeff. Ooh, man, there's that ballooning. And we're at 180 right now. And remember, it's going to be 144, even though we're just going to set it to where we can see it. Even though we have the throttles ourselves manually. Okay. Come on down the pipe. Wow, that thing really, really threw them out, didn't it? Laps 25. And if we're going to do that, we might as well. But it is a lightly loaded airplane. Yeah, altitude alert. We know. We're good. We've got it ourselves. Grabbing that glide slope again. There we go. Make sure we don't have too many pilot-induced oscillations here. All right, gear down. We have 3 green. We're going to put these guys out as well. Clear to land, 2.8 right for us today. Add a little bit of power here. Using that downward motion as we come down the glide slope to help out with that. But lately, whenever we've been doing videos for X-Plane, we just cannot seem to win when it comes to the wind. It seems like it always wants to make our life a challenge, which is all right. I like the challenge of the landings in these conditions. We're a little high here on the approach now. Just trying to get stable again here. Pull power back a little bit. Here comes the glide slope there. Okay, now I know where I need my trim at. There we go. Right there. It's good. I mean, 12 knots isn't that horrible. It's just the turbulence down here has been pretty bad. It's just been rocking us back and forth like crazy. And we're looking okay here still. Bring that nose down. Okay. We need to get pretty much established here now that we're at Aximal. No more mistakes. Bring it on back. There we go. We're getting out of that, out of the turbulence now. All right. Wonderful. Okay, now we'll go VREF. We'll pull our power back here and flaps 30. That'll help with that lift too. There we go. Add that power as we've induced all that drag. There's our VREF right there. Looking much more stable now. And the winds are calming down. There they are, about 200 at 9. It's those mountains on the left there, man. They make it interesting for you, don't they? Bring that nose back down. Looking good. Bring our power back. We're getting a little quick. There we go. Looking all right.
500.
A little more power than that.
400.
It's 4 engines, but man, they do spool up pretty quick. You just got to be ready for it.
300.
Looking pretty good here.
Minimum. 200.
Landing. That's for the minimums call out. Oop, pull it back a little bit.
100. Glide slope.
Throw
50,
out that.
40. 30. 20. 10.
A little more right rudder here. Boy, that is just skating. There we go. Reversers out. Bring that nose wheel down. Jeez. We have 4 reverse in the green. Man, that thing did not like that. It's light. All right, clear those. We made it in one piece. That's all that matters. Auto brakes disarmed. And we're going actually to the right over there to the GA ramp today. That's what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Francisco. Interesting approach. And now we'll taxi into the ramp. We'll fire up that APU. We'll clean up everything here. The APU goes to the on position. Wait a few seconds for that flap to open up. And then start on the APU. And we'll taxi off to the right here.
One hundred. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. One hundred. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, speed brakes come up, and we'll go ahead and bring our flaps up as well. We're going to go to this ramp right up here on the left is what we're going to do. So we can turn our landing lights off as well. It looks like we're going to be going in the grass or something like that, but that's just how you have to taxi this big airplane. All right, you guys come in. Runway turnoff's going to come off, and we'll get the strobes in a second here. Strobes and wing off. There we go. And we're going to make a right turn into there. We'll park up here on the left-hand side. So APU is good there. APU power is available. It is switched over to that. All the air side looks good. And we can go ahead and kill the taxi light. And now we will taxi into this ramp right here. That one right there. All right, parking brake comes up. There we go. We're on AP power. We can kill the engines now. There we go. And then beacon light goes to off. And there you have it, folks. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this flight with the V2 of the 748. Let me know if you want to see me fly this airplane again, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.